All right, let's do this. Welcome everyone to the MangaVerse episode 5. This is the Valentine's Day edition of the MangaVerse. It just happened coincidentally to land on Valentine's Day. So I figure, you know what? I will show you guys some of the good kind of love stories that I've kind of discovered going through the MangaVerse. And I would share that with you guys. But we got some two other segments before we get into our main event. We're going to talk about some news, and then we're going to talk about a massive haul that I had these last couple of days when it comes to manga. So I am definitely excited to show you guys what upcoming stories we're going to be diving into and review for you guys. And I am definitely excited for that. So, with that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few news articles that caught my attention, and then we will go on from there. All right. So we're going to visit the Twitterverse here, and some interesting news. So from Deb Aoki here, the Star Wars tribute Viz is going to be announcing a tribute art book that Viz Media released in January 2022. Completely flew under the radar. Um, so yeah, Viz did a art book for Star Wars, and let's just say it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. So, um, yeah. So explore the galaxy, the beautiful artwork of 45 outstanding Japanese manga artists, illustrators, including those particular artists there, celebrating universe appeal for the iconic characters and timeless stories. So let's go ahead and see some of the pieces we got in here. So let's just say I don't like it. There are just some things that when it comes to artwork, I don't think Western entertainment should mix with traditional Eastern. It just doesn't work for me. Like this is Obi-Wan, and it's like, it's just I don't know, I'm not feeling it. Boba Fett's looking okay with the Slave One. There's Yoda. Got the AT-ATs, so that's pretty interesting. Amidala. And we go back here. Now there's some other photos that was shared here. So we got the front cover, which is okay. This one's just like, I know they're trying to poke a little comedy into the Star Wars, but having an Ewok pointing direction with two chickens, I mean, that kind of, I don't know. There's just something about it. It's just not for me. Here you got Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi again, and the art style for Padme here. I mean, I don't like the art style. I don't like the adaptation of, again, Western entertainment into manga format. I understand what they were trying to do here, but it just isn't for me. And then this one too really, really turns me off because it's like, no offense to the artist, definitely can draw a lot better than I can, but Luke Skywalker looks kind of feminine here. That's just the way I portray it. So, yeah, not for me. Not for me. And then kind of on the anime front, because we do talk a little bit of anime here on the podcast. Because again, manga and anime, let's just face it, they kind of go hand in hand. Jujutsu Kaisen anime gets the second season in 2023. Let's go ahead and bring this article up. So the cast of Jujutsu Kaisen anime film and television anime announced after a Saturday afternoon screening of the television series that will get a second season in 2023. The film's website had teased last month that the screening on Saturday would have an important announcement, which we will be getting into Jujutsu Kaisen in my manga haul today. Manga creator That name Neto, you guys can probably pronounce a lot better than I can. A true illustration to commemorate the success of the film and the announcement of the second season. The illustration features a comment from Okutami to thank reader, viewers, and involved in the production. Another name that I cannot pronounce. The voice actor for the show's protagonist, Yuji Itadora, appeared at the event to announce the new season. The staff at the event rolled a box onto the stage, and Inoki popped out of the box wearing a sash that congratulated the movie on its hit run. When Inoki turned around, the Sashes back announced the second season, and the screen above cast that added that in the second season will premiere in 2023. So that was pretty cool for all you fans out there. And we will be getting into that manga. It's on a little bit lesser priority right now, but it's one that I want to do. Now, something I've been debating on doing when we go into the month of October, I want to do like an exclusive like Halloween manga month. And so there's a lot of manga that deals with like the supernatural, demons, vampires, and so forth. And those are the type of books I think I'm really going to hit hard in the month of October. So it'd be the manga Oktoberfest is something that I really want to do. So super definitely mangas that deal with vampires. Definitely will be focusing more on them. So if you guys are a fan of that type of genre, be patient. Your time will come when I will review those mangas. I already got a whole bunch of them lined up, and I'll show you a couple of them today, actually. I'll show you guys a couple of that today. So yeah, that's pretty awesome that Jujutsu Kaisen is getting a second season. And again, my typical rule when it comes to anime, especially those that are inspired by manga, I want to read and finish the mangas first before I jump into the anime version of it. It's just, I feel like, especially through, for example, when I was reading Blue Period, uh, I was enjoying it reading wise, but then when I saw the anime form, sub form of Blue Period, it made me appreciate the story much, much more. And so that's the kind of feeling I want to get when I dive into these things. So if you guys recommend any type of anime, be patient because if there's a manga form, I'm gonna read the manga form first. And I'm gonna try to go back and forth. So if I finish like volume 2 or 3, then I'm gonna watch volume 2 or 3 equivalent of the anime. Now I understand that adaptation is not gonna be 100%, but I'll try to do what I can. I'll try to do what I can. So those were the news there. And then another one that just kind of popped in was Warhammer 40K. And I don't think this is a manga per se, but it kind of fits. It's more comic-y. But Games Workshop, what are you doing? They're trying to market it for the next generation, the younger kids and so forth. I hate when corporations try to do this. I really, really hate when they try to dumb it down or neuter the franchise essentially to try to get the next generation audience. The products that you make, I hate to break it to you guys, but we grow up. The generation that's into these things, the customers that actually have spending money that's going to buy, the gruesome stuff of the dark, dark future, they will come. You trying to adapt, your adult rated world into, a G rated story. I just don't get. I just don't get. So yeah, not a fan of this stuff. It's like it is called in the grim darkness of the far, far future, there's only war. Let's keep it that way, please. Ugh. And then from Funimation, The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 debuts new visual trailer for spring 2022. Now, what's interesting about this one is that the anime came out, and this happens from time to time too. Sometimes you get an anime original exclusive, and then they realize, oh, this is a really good anime. Let's now adopt it for the manga audience as well. And so this was definitely one that was like that. I think Beastars is another one that was like that. And there's a few others that, they were originally animes and then were adapted to manga. So I actually found The Rising of the Shield Hero from one of my friends, and I actually watched like the first 3 episodes, and then they adapted to manga, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna go the manga route first, and then we'll go back and I'll watch this. But it's definitely an anime I like. This It's unique, but it also has that sort of online type of vibe to it. That typical trope of stuck in a world and then you got to quest your way through it and then it never ends. So I'm hoping this doesn't fall into the same trap, but season 2 has been green lit. So yeah, I think that is all the manga news that I have for this particular cast. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this to work right. Okay. So yeah, that is the news. Let's go ahead and get into the good stuff. Let's get into the good stuff. So I'm going to move my mic. And then let me show you guys the recent haul that I have from all the manga and all the stories that you guys can look forward to on my spotlights and maybe future discussions on future podcasts. So let me go ahead and bring this up, bring it to the forefront. Okay, so we've got our table here. So I've got these in the mail actually today. I was actually quite surprised I got these in, but we've got Chibi Vampire. Come on, you can adjust. You can do it. Okay. So this one caught my attention because it just looked unique. It looked like it's going to be one of those comedies where you probably have a daughter of a vampire family. I don't know what it's about. I'm just guessing just by the cover. I had the opportunity to try to get like 1 through 10, but I decided just to grab the first 2 volumes just to see what it's all about, and then I'll eventually grab all the other ones if it's really good. Made by Tokyo Pop, and I think this was. Let's see, when did this originally come out? Let's take a look here. See if I can find a copyright date here. So this was in 2003. 2003 is when this came out. So it looks interesting. Again, I'll save it for the video for the back here, but it's older teen comedy, but it looked interesting. And this will be part of the line that will come out in October. Because again, I kind of want to leave the manga Halloween vampires and so forth. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up reading it and like future schedule these videos to make sure that I have one coming out daily. So I will be excited for that. So that is Chibi Vampire. All right, this one I got about a couple days ago. Now, this particular franchise is something that I have collected forever, ever since my father kind of introduced me to collecting. And so when I saw this, like, yep, we're going to give it a try and see how this is interpreted into manga. And that is Pokemon Adventures X and Y Volume 1. I am excited for this because Pokemon is definitely my top 3 favorite franchises of all time. And I'm excited to see where the story is going to go. I wish I can get the original one with like Ash and so forth, but I don't mind starting an X and Y. Again, I am invested in a good story, a good world. And, Pokemon's always been one of those big escapisms for me. I love the anime. I've played the trading card game. I've played the video games. I've done it all when it comes to this franchise, with the exception of actually reading the manga version. And here we are. So, Pokemon Adventures X and why. Made by Viz Media and A-rated for all ages. No surprise there. No surprise there. Okay. Next manga book that I picked up. Of course, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. So I do have Volume 0, but I've been hearing so many good things about Jujutsu Kaisen that I went ahead and grabbed Volume 1. It was a little bit on sale from my local bookstore, and I just decided to go ahead and pick it up. Again, this will probably be one of those, it is supernatural, so again, I'll probably save this for October. And we'll just take it from there and see what happens. So, Jujutsu Kaisen. Viz Media and Shonen Jump. Rated T for teen. Or older teen. Well, see, I wish the rating system is kind of all over the place. So this one says rated T plus, which is older teen. So, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. Okay, this one I picked up from online, actually, from Seven Seas Entertainment. This one looks hilarious. So this is the Succubus and the Hitman. Definitely one of the ones I'm going to read into. Definitely, for obvious reasons, I won't be able to open this manga up. But it is definitely rated M for mature. And I'm actually quite excited for this one. This one feels like it's going to be just one of those yin and yang type of partnerships. The Succubus and the Hitman. All right, next one. This one, so this particular series definitely going to be in October. A lot of these are actually going to be in October, but we've got Soul Eater. I've heard a lot of good things about this one too. Comes from the same author as Fire Force, which I am currently reading through. And it's actually ending soon from what we talked about last week. The last chapter has been submitted, and we'll see how that ends. So yeah, Soul Eater. Rated older teen for LNSB. So again, another one that I may not be opening for my spotlight, but one that I am excited for. Okay, and then I finally took me a while. This one really took me a while to find. Volume 2 of My Hero Academia. I really like this story. The fact that you got this world that everyone's got some sort of superpower, and you've got this one individual that wasn't really born with superpowers, but then has to earn it, of the true hero's journey. Yeah, can't wait for volume 2 on this. Viz Media, rated teen. Very excited for this one. And then along with that, I got volume 3. Come on, you can just. There we go. So I picked up volume 3 as well. My Hero Academia. Again, a very, very popular manga, which I can see why. I can see why. It's really good. Okay, so the next one I bought because it's going to be my next video. I apologize that I haven't gotten out yet because I'm gonna try to get it out tomorrow. But I've been, man, what is going on with my camera here? Come on, stop autofocusing. Okay, see if it'll cooperate more. Okay, and I was really, really happy with this one. Black Clover. You want to talk about getting into the feeling of going back into like a Harry Potter-esque world? This one has just surprised me, and I'm hoping that volume 2 really continues it on. It's basically you've got these two individuals. One has they have to go into they're mages, and you got these particular books that they'll give these mages their abilities, and so the ceremony to get these books was just top notch. It reminded me of Harry Potter all over again, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this story. And so I picked up volume 2 because I think I one-shotted. No, it took me 2 nights, but it was such a fun read. Like, I haven't been immersed in a world like that since Harry Potter. So yeah, I'm hoping to get the review out for volume 1 on this tomorrow. It's my goal, but we'll see. So this next one, so normally I don't like buying volumes out of order, but there are just some exceptions that I will make if it's a story that I seem to be interested in. So I picked up Blackbird, but this is volume 3, and this is the only copy I have of the entire series. Um, Again, normally I don't like buying volumes out of order. However, I will make an exception if it's used and it's for the right price. You can never guess that this was actually used, and I bought this for $3. So, yeah, I'm not going to say no to a particular series I'm going to get into for that price. I mean, it's a steal and there's some other ones that I was potentially getting into. There was one called Whistle, and then there was another one that I can't remember top of my head. But this series looked pretty good, Blackbird. Again, so this one's going to take a while because I still got to find volume 1 and 2. This particular series is rare to find. So the fact that I got this one for $3, yeah, it was a great deal. So, but again, that one's going to take a little bit. This one surprised me. I picked this one up today. Finally got Hunter x Hunter Volume 1. This one took me a while to find. There have been a lot of talk on this particular manga, and a lot of it was positive. A lot of it was positive. So it's like, okay. I saw that Volume 1 was available, and I picked it up. So Hunter x Hunter Volume 1. We've got Viz Media. Oh, so sorry. The last one was Viz Media as well. Older Teen. Shonen Jump, Older Teen, Viz Media. So yeah, I am curious to see what Hunter x Hunter is all about. All right. This one caught my attention too, but this one's going to be, again, this is probably going to be an October series. So this is Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign. Again, looks interesting and cannot wait. Shonen Jump, Older Teen, Viz Media. Yeah, so can't wait for October for that one. Okay, so this one I bought just for the journalism. I'm not sure if I'm going to complete the whole series, but I just wanted to know, what is the commotion of this particular manga? What on earth is this all about? Rent a Girlfriend, Volume 1. Like I said, I picked up this just by the title. It's something that I probably wouldn't do normally, but I wouldn't be a good reviewer if I didn't get into something that everyone was talking about, for good or bad. And so I have no idea what it's about. So normally I don't do this, but let's go ahead and read the back and see what in the world this is all about. Because I was definitely scratching my head. It's like, what is the commotion on this particular manga? All right. I'll fix my lighting for the next stream here. I know it's kind of dark, but on borrowed time, you can rent a girlfriend, but can you buy love? Hapless college first year, Kayuza Kinoshita, reeling from a bad breakup, rents a few hours of a friendly companion at the aquarium from the idle, beautiful, and polite Chichiro. But rock bottom might be lower than Kaiuzu thought. Family, school, and life all start to go wrong, and to make matters worse, Chichiro is is much more than the pretty face and sweet demeanor he thought he garnered for. And it's also an anime as well. I had to saw this here from the makers of Real Life and Fruits Basket. We'll get into Fruits Basket here in a second. So that's going to explain a little bit more. So yeah, I picked it up just to see what it's about. Again, I do have my 3-volume manga rule, but if it's not for me, I'll just stop at volume 1, but we'll see. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is another one that is being talked about a lot lately that I've been seeing on manga forums, the people that I follow on Twitter. And again, I'm just kind of curious what it's all about. And that is Comey can't communicate. So this one, I read the back on it already. Because sometimes I won't make an investment unless the back synopsis catches me. This one caught me because it has the potential to have great characters in it. And again, a truly unique, eye-opening experience. So I'm interested to see how this goes. So that's another one that I picked up today. Okay, so this next one, I have seen plenty of figures on. I've seen a little bit of the anime. That is Dragon's Maid. I cannot wait for this one because this character, I already kind of understand what her demeanor is, I guess is the best way to describe it. But this has got comedy gold written all over it, and I cannot wait to dive into it. I've been wanting this one for a while, but again, I'm running into a lot of the issues. Can only find volume 2, volume 3, can never find the magical volume 1 because everyone else is experimenting and trying to get it to see what it's all about. But yes, we've got Dragon's Maid. Very excited for that one. All right, so these next two kind of have a theme. And if you guys follow me on this channel, I am passionate for space. And so I picked up volume 2 of Reborn as a Space Missionary. And again, this is part of that Reborn trope that I don't want to say I'm getting burnt out on, but kind of getting slightly burnt out. But I'm excited for this. All right, next one. Again, kind of following on the same theme. I love space. And to be honest with you, the Book of Boba Fett has me craving for bounty hunter space exploration stories because the Book of Boba Fett did not do that whatsoever. And so we picked up Eden's Zero or Eden's Zero. Because when I read the back of this, it captured my attention. All right, so let's take a look at the back here. All right, at Grand Ball Kingdom, an abandoned amusement park. Shiki has lived his entire life among machines, but one day Rebecca and her cat companion, Happy. I love how I think this is the same author as Fairy Tale. Hang on. I'll confirm that here in a second. All right, so can confirm we've got the same author and literally the same characters. And Happy is also in Fairy Tale as well. So I'm curious to see if this is from the creator of Fairy Tale. I can't read. I can't. Yeah. And you guys are smart. You probably said yes, yes. But yeah, so the same and I love Fairy Tale. I love Fairy Tale a lot. It's one I'm trying to get back into. The problem is that I struggle to read the same manga twice. Like trying to do Sailor Moon to review has because I know how it ends, and that's the thing. Is like once I know what a full story is, it's very difficult for me to actually read through the same story again. So that's kind of my issue I'm having with Fairy Tale. And Fairy Tale has so many volumes. It's like One Piece, but with One Piece, I haven't read the story at all. So I'm going in there with a new eye on a story. It's Fairy Tale. I'm up to volume 8, looks like. I'm looking at my shelf here. Yeah, I think I'm on volume 8. So, but yeah, I am excited for this one. So I feel like this one's going to be my my space anime. Because I'm looking for a good space manga to really dive into and just go exploring. Right now, Cowboy Bebop has my attention because that anime is really, really good. Because again, I'm craving for that space exploration, the bounty hunter type of class storyline. And Cowboy Bebop is definitely fulfilling that for me. And so I'm hoping that N Zero here will help me with that. But yeah, Happy appear at the park's front gates. Little do these newcomers know that the first human contact, Grand Bell, has had 100 years as Shiki stumbles his way into making new friends. His former neighbors stir an opportunity for a robo rebellion. And when his homeland becomes too dangerous, Shiki must join Rebecca and Happy on their spaceship and escape into boundless cosmos. Boundless cosmos. So yeah, that definitely had my attention. It's amazing how two words can really excite me, and that boundless cosmos just sounds really fun to go on that adventure. And there's the ship right there. I'm assuming that's Earth, maybe. But I'm excited for this one. Very, very excited. And then this last kind of bit of a haul that I had was to basically get caught up and have the complete set up until the latest edition. And I present to you Chainsaw Man. There's 6, there's 7, there's 8, and there's 9. 9 is the newest one that came out. But I am really, really enjoying Chainsaw Man. Again, there's always a debate that this and Black Torch kind of go hand in hand. They're both great stories. They both have their own uniqueness. And from my understanding, they eventually separate into their own separate storylines. But I am enjoying this manga for sure. So I basically now have 1 through 9, and I'll probably be working on volume 2 here pretty darn soon. So yeah, we got the rest of the Chainsaw Man series. And I cannot wait for it. All right, so that is my latest haul for probably this month when it comes to manga. All right, let's get on to the main event. And as my camera just goes psychedelic here. So it is Valentine's Day. Let's take a look at some of my favorite stories that I've read that deals with, good old romance, good old, male, female, female to female relationships that I do apologize. I'm not into the whole male male relationship type story. It's just definitely not for me. It's one that I tend to stray away. Like I need a lot of people to recommend me a good manga to do the male thing because again, that's not me. But if it's for you, go for it. If you have any good recommendations of good storytelling and good character traits and character arcs, then feel free to let me know. But I need recommendations for like male to male relationships. So with that, let's go ahead and look at my first one that I got here. So this is Dance in the Vampire Bound. Now this one I don't quite 100% the story of it. It's been years since I've read this one. This was probably my third manga that I got after I completed my Sailor Moon series. I probably got this back in 2013. And this is volumes 1 through 3. Basically, the whole point of this story is you've got a female lead here who is in charge of the vampire kind of group, and then you have another protagonist that is a individual that's a werewolf, and basically he was pledged into protecting the vampire lead here, which is her, and then they grow into this kind of relationship going through I have up to volume 9. This is probably one of the more rare books that I have in my collection currently. But if you're and it's a little bit more expensive. So this type of 1 through 3 printing of it, they don't do anymore. You can still find the singles online. And me personally, I'm probably going to end up buying the single volumes because it's easier for me to review on a video versus, can you imagine trying for me to do a complete review on this 1 through 3? Yeah. So I haven't really, it's a little bit difficult for me to actually do this type of review because it'll be like an hour-long review, try to do all 3 volumes in once. But again, if you're looking for a good kind of love story when it deals with vampires and werewolves, that's not Twilight. I strongly recommend Dance in the Vampire Bound. This will definitely be one that I do for October. It's going to be probably the one that I'm going to review all the chapters. Now I got to get the volumes and so forth because I don't have all the volumes, but this is one that I want to kind of do daily until we complete it. So it'll probably be like, I think there's 15 volumes of Dance in the Vampire Bound. I'll have to double check, but again, strongly recommend this one. It's really good. All right, so next one. If you love the Chinese zodiacs and the personification of zodiacs, and you just want like a good drama romance, then look no further than Fruits Basket. This one, again, this is the collector's edition. So when I originally read Fruits Basket, I rented it from a library. They had like a whole bunch. I think I read up to like volume 10. And I prefer those ones over these collector's editions ones because in the original printing of Fruits Basket, they have the author edit notes in there. And I enjoyed those more than I kind of enjoyed the story. Now, I do want to reread Fruits Basket because now that I've matured a little bit in my reading and my understanding of characters and storytelling and world building, and I'm hungry for, the zodiac's personification and so forth, I'm going to give Fruits Basket another chance. So, but I want to get the original volumes of Fruit Basket, not the collector's editions. This one, I can't remember the backstory behind why I have this one, but yeah, I prefer the original copies. But anyways, if you want a good drama romance, and you into the zodiacs of the Chinese, like the rat, the tiger, the dragon, I strongly recommend this manga. This manga is pretty good if you're really into that. So, yeah, strongly recommend Fruits Basket. Okay. Now this one's a little bit biased, but I've got to find a way to shoehorn this in. If you want a good love story, I got to go with my girl Sailor Moon. Obviously, you've got some of the main protagonists. You've got Sailor Moon and Darien. That love story is just, it goes through from start to finish. There's some quirks about it. There's some volumes that are not that great now that I've reread it. But again, if you want a good kick-ass, just female empowering warriors, and you also want to have that romance in there, Sailor Moon is definitely for you. I can't, again, this is 100% biased, but again, this is my favorite franchise, my favorite story, just my favorite just thing in general of all time for me. Cannot recommend Sailor Moon enough. It is a fun manga. It is one thing I have noticed about Sailor Moon compared to all of the other mangas that I've read and reviewed. Sailor Moon is packed with lore. It is packed with conversation. It is packed with dialogue. There's just so much to it. I didn't realize just how much are crammed into these volumes compared to some of these other ones. Now, it's not a knockoff on these other mangas. It's just this will take you a while to read through because there's just so much to get through, especially within volume one. There's so much crammed in there. So again, there's a good love story in there, and that's why I'm shoehorning Sailor Moon into the Valentine's Day type of manga. So highly recommend it. All right, so this next one is by far, matter of fact, let me grab another volume real quick. This story really caught me off guard because I didn't know what to expect. I did not know what to expect. And so when I picked it up, I thought it was going to be one of those that, okay, this is M rated. It's probably hentai and all this other stuff. But no, it is a very mature type of story. And this is probably, I don't know, these next two, it's tough for me to actually debate which one's my number one, which one's my number two. But we'll get to that here in a second as far as love story is concerned. Okay, so this next one I cannot recommend enough is Citrus. Not only Citrus, but volume 2 of Citrus. You want to talk about the growing of a relationship, to understand the struggles of just trying to get the gears aligned when it comes to understanding each other. This manga surprised me in so many ways. The characters are just really well done. So I have completed volume 3 because I was concerned because volume 2 ended on such a great note. Like, this is easily current day the best manga I've read so far of the year is volume 2 of this. It has left such an impact on me. And I want to see if I can try to find the quote in here. And it's such a great quote. Right here. This panel is by far one of the best. And it's like this quote has just, it's so good. So when there's no way forward, you gotta blaze your own trail. When there's no way forward, you gotta blaze your own trail. I love that quote. It's one of those things that just resonates with you. And definitely volume 2 has done that for me. So definitely, and volume 3, I was really concerned because I was really, really worried that volume 3 wasn't going to be able to deliver from volume 2. And it did dip down a little bit. It did feel, and again, I'm kind of spoiling my spotlight video a little bit. Volume 3 was good. it does dip down a little bit because it felt like filler. But the more I think about it, the more it just shows you, it gives you really in real life bumps in the road when it comes to a relationship. And it also has another great quote in it. Um, Sabuta, Saburuta, man, I'm sorry, but this story is just well done, really well done. It's like, this is what, you know, if you want to have the template and the blueprint for lesbian writing when it comes to developing a lesbian couple storyline and character arcs, this is the template right here with Citrus. Really, really well done. Yeah, I am excited to continue on reading, and this is easily my favorite romance story so far. Really good. Cannot praise it enough. Okay, so this next one is, it's again, it surprised me because originally when I got this manga, it was part of a, originally I wanted Demon Slayer Volume 1, and unfortunately it was being sold as a bundle. And it's like, okay, I'm not sure how to take it. So I read Volume 1, loved it ever since. And that is The Incurable Case of Love. I like this story so much. I like this story so much that I had to get the rest of it. So there's only 7 volumes. I have the complete collection here. I am currently on volume 5, if I remember correctly. I gotta look at the videos, but yeah, I think I'm on volume 5. So, The Incurable Case of Love. This is one of those that you want to read on Valentine's Day. Again, it's not necessary. I don't want to say it's necessarily the best because, like I said, Citrus just takes it to a whole new level. But this one is just good from like a normal couple's perspective. Now, it's got the trope of, and it kind of shows you the problems of, having a doctor and nurse relationship, because that's what this is all about, and trying to balance the two, and trying to balance when both partners are in the same profession. And I respect this story because it really shows you the hardship that can be. And it's like, you got this doctor that can be a pain in the ass, but you got the nurse that really knows how to tame him. This story, the best way to describe it is the modern day Beauty and the Beast. You got the beast of a doctor who takes his job very seriously, is very kind of rude to nurses, but he is strict in the way because you're basically dealing with the profession of life, of trying to save lives. And so you kind of start to see how the relationship evolves and trying to deal with the challenges of that. Of, a- and you get to see them grow, mature, and deal with jealousies and outside issues and so forth. So this story was really, really good. It surprised me. It really did. And it's kind of a rom-com in a way. There's a lot of um, romantic comedy elements to it as well. But yeah, I highly recommend The Incurable Kiss of Love if you're looking for just a love story that deals with the same profession and how these two were able to kind of overcome that. Very good story. And there's only 7 volumes, which again, I think that that's a good amount. It's easy to get everything and just read it from start to finish. I've always argued that a very good story, even dare I say a masterpiece and a classic story, they always got to have a good ending. And that's kind of my concern going into One Piece, because if you're already past like 100 volumes, like, okay, I can imagine you're going to need to end that eventually. So that way you can put that icing on the cake, bring that closure to the story. So that way it can be considered a classic and a masterpiece. So The Incurable Case of Love. So yeah, when it comes to love stories, this is why manga is laughing so damn hard. Because you've got variety, right? You've got a ton of variety. And so just by looking at this, and there's a ton of them out there. This is just, we've been going for about half an hour showcasing some mangas here, and about, I would say, 20 minutes on the Valentine's stuff. But it's like, these are just 5 manga stories. This is why I'm so committed to the platform. Because this is something that Hollywood doesn't get. These Hollywood studios, actors, producers, CEOs, and so forth, they're so focused on the message that they forget just to tell a good fucking story. And yeah, it took me a while, me, a person who grew up in the millennials, to actually read and so forth. And I grew up gaming on the gaming side first. It wasn't until recently that I want good stories. I want good escapism. And Hollywood wasn't giving it to me anymore. And so I went back to my roots. I asked myself, well, what storytelling do I like? And I went back to my roots. I went back to the first anime that I've ever loved. And that's Sailor Moon. And then I realized, oh, it's a manga. And then from there, I started to branch out. What other stories were similar to Sailor Moon? That's when I branched out to Card Capture Sakura. Let me grab that one real quick. This one took me about a year to get all the books for. Because I knew it exists. And it took me a while to get this. Card Capture Sakura. Very, very good story. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, and Book 4. So I went from Sailor Moon to Card Capture Sakura to Dance in the Vampire Bound. And then from there, I think I went to Fairy Tail. And then I just kind of exploded after that. I wish there was more volumes of Card Capture Sakura. I had so much. I just love the idea that you got to capture these cards. For these monsters, you can use the ability from cards. I love the idea. I want more of this. But there's only 4 books made. But that's why in this quest for escapism, I am hardcore going into manga. More than I ever thought I would. And that's why it's also considered timeless. And like I said, this is just the romance stuff. Look at these other great stories. Chainsaw, Endings Zero. I can just go on and on and on and on. Right? This is why manga is laughing so damn hard. They cannot compete against this. It is cheaper to make. They can mass produce it. and we can soak on through it. They can make volumes so much more faster, and they are not controlled by the message. These are artists and writers and storytellers, world builders. They can do so much more. And they're giving us what we want: good storytelling. These are dedicated individuals that just want to tell a good story. And this is why I'm passionate about this now more than ever. And why I am on a journey to bring you guys all these great stories. And that's why I'm heavily focusing on volume ones first for right now. So that way, I can expand my knowledge of these stories. And then we'll eventually, we'll start cramming through all these volumes. There's just so much. There are so many good characters, good worlds, good genres. From supernatural to Gotta Catch 'Em All to adult Harry Potter to a superpower world to space. This is why I do this. There are so many good stories to tell. And that's why I do it. That's why I do it. And as we grow this MangaVerse podcast, I hope that we can bring others with us to talk about these great stories, to share which one's our favorites, to recommend to others. I've seen so many people recommend so many good mangas, and I try to spotlight that too. I am passionate. I am passionate for these stories. I want to eat up good characters and worlds and just escapism as a whole. Hollywood's not giving us what we want. And at this point, it's up to us to find that. And I'm hoping through this journey that I take the Icey Fellowship with me as well. I cannot wait to dive into these stories, and I cannot wait to share that with you guys. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and call it a close. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream for episode 5 as we start winding it down. This Saturday, we've got another episode of the Icey Layer podcast on this channel. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got we've got the new Doctor Strange trailer that dropped. We've got the new Lord of the Rings that dropped that we got to talk about, and how I'm extremely frustrated with that. Book of Boba Fett has finally finished, so I don't think we're going to be. I think we'll finally bury that dead horse, because we poked that stick several times, and that horse is dead. It's dead, Jimmy. It's a dead horse. Please bear with me. My schedule is definitely going to be changing a lot. I'm officially on my phase 1 of moving. I'm going to be moving from California to Wyoming, which I am really excited about. It's going to give me access to a lot more things. Well, you may be asking, what's in Wyoming? It's not necessarily in Wyoming. It's in Colorado. So I'm moving from California to Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is going to give me access to Denver, which means a whole bunch of things I am excited for, to include conventions. So I cannot wait. Cannot wait. And so I've started my phase 1 of moving, starting my California exit. And videos are going to be sporadic. Like, I haven't produced a video since, I haven't produced a video in a while. So I'm hoping to I've got 2 more manga books on the way. I've got Black Clover Volume 1. I've got Citrus Volume 3 that are now lined up and ready to go. I just got to get my spotlight recorded. So I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. I want to get those out so that way I'm all caught up. Because I've actually been taking a break from reading from manga just because I've just been extremely tired. All this moving and packing and cleaning that I'm doing. It's taking its toll a little bit. It's taking its toll. But yeah, so this Saturday, most of the podcasts that I do weekly those are always going to be my priority. So the MangaVerse won't be affected until I absolutely move from house to house, which will probably end up being in May. Yeah, probably be in May is when everything will come to a stop at that point. So yeah, the Isolator podcast this Saturday. So we got Lord of the Rings and the Multiverse of Madness to talk about. And then after that, we got again right back here on the MangaVerse on Monday. And then on Wednesday, I am super excited. We're gonna have our very first guest on the Crochet Collectibles and Chatting with the Geeky Crochet. We've got Tommytron TV from Geeks and Gamers going to come join us, and we're going to talk about the joys of collecting. So he's got an awesome collection of 80s and 90s and VHS that we will be just, showing and telling. And I've got my first collection that I've ever started that I will showcase over there as well. So it's going to be a very special event. Again, that's going to happen on this channel. No, I'm sorry, on my Endless Collectibles channel. You can find the links down below. And that'll be on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So extremely excited for that, to have that opportunity. And then that's pretty much it. So another thing I want to announce too is that over on Twitch, I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Twitch channel over there because I've been wanting to do stuff. And I think I have finally cracked it. So my Twitch channel is going to be originally it was going to be for tabletop gaming. Well, not the case anymore. It's going to be just a chill stream. I'm going to have no agenda. We're just going to shoot the shit. It's literally going to be called the Chillcast, where we just talk about anything and everything under the sun. And what's interesting about Twitch is that I can play music over there as long as it's not copyrighted. So I use a service called Pretzel Rocks, and so I can blast the music as loud as I can and just have fun, sit back, relax, and talk to you guys. And I'm also an affiliate, which means that I've got bits, I've got emotes, which I'm excited for. We actually did our first stream yesterday, and I will be doing that sporadically. So it's like if I don't have anything lined up and I just want to stream and have fun, that's where I'll be. So you'll find the links down below. And yeah, I am definitely excited for that. So I think that is all I have for today. Again, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast or video. Again, if you have any manga suggestions on any manga that you want to see spotlighted on this channel, feel free to leave a comment down below. So that way I can get that out as soon as I can. If you guys feel like supporting me or the Icey Fellowship, feel free to look at all the links down below to all my channels, ways that you can help me financially, and just ways just to have fun. So again, you can also find me at rayronvr.com. And with it, guys, thank you so much and have a great night.